Hello, Aries. My name is Morgan, and I'll be doing a love reading today for the Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus for Aries. This reading is meant to be timeless, so whenever you're guided to watch this reading is when you're guided to watch it, but just know that not every message in this reading may be for you. Messages are channeled for whoever needs to hear it, so I could be pulling from many different situations, but if part of it resonates, then that's part is for you. So to start off, I'll be using the Island Time Wellness Love Oracle just to pick up on the start and see what's going on in your energy. And then we will dive in from there using the Good Tarot because that's my favorite deck and I love that deck. Okay, so what's going on for Aries right now? A Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. It needs to be said in love. What's going on for Aries in love at this time? I'm feeling kind of like a playful energy, so you might be having fun right now or fun with somebody, or like it just feels very lighthearted and like you're here for a good time, not for a long time. So I feel like you're just kind of chilling, vibing, having a good time with some people. So the first card that came out was the Golden Mirror. It says self-absorbed, narcissist, one-sided relationship, love bombing. You may have caught the attention of someone with not very good intentions. We also have the Camera, which says reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learn from the past, make memories. I feel like if you're currently connecting with a narcissist or someone who is trying really hard to get your attention, I feel like you had a narcissistic parent or like someone in your energy who, like, I feel like you're used to narcissists, or like maybe you're a very empathetic person and you're kind of like a narcissist magnet. And then we have the cassette, which is outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. So I feel like this is like a pattern for you. I feel like you're probably a really empathetic person, someone who's really kind, someone who's really caring, and I feel like you attract people who love to take advantage of that. So here we have, like I said, the Golden Mirror. So, someone really likes the way that they look, or like they think that they're like God's gift to this green earth, as far as like, you may have heard them say things like, oh, it's because I'm hot, or oh, it's because I'm attractive. I feel like they might be an attractive person, but I feel like their ego is a little too full for what they have to offer here. And then with Camera here, I think that you're realizing that this is, I feel like caught in the act. Maybe you've kind of like heard them say some things that are where it like tipped you off that they're self-absorbed or self-centered, to where like, or maybe they kind of told you that like, I feel like they told you a secret and like, but they told you something in confidence, but you need to like hang on to that, because it's like they told you something about the things that they do. They told you something about a pattern that they do, or like how they use people, or how they, like it might be like the kind of energy where like, oh, I only flirt to get free drinks. So, but you know that they're flirting with you and you're giving them a free drink. So, you know that they're like, they're not only using you for the free drink. Like, I feel like someone's telling on themselves here. But with the cassette, I really get that you're used to attracting this kind of person, that you are someone who's empathetic and someone who's a bit naive. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I just feel like you really want to see the best in people. And I feel like people take advantage of that. Because the thing with narcissists is, especially with the love bombing, is that they seem too good to be true at first. And it's because that they are. But, I feel like the person you're connecting with like really went out of their way to tell you how you're amazing, how you're so beautiful, how you're not like anyone they've ever met before, how like they just love your energy, and they really do, because it's something that they'll never be able to attain because of this narcissistic energy. But like it feels more, instead of like they love you, or that they're like really into you for who you are, they're into you for what you could do for them, or maybe you make this person look good, or like and I also get too that you may think that like you guys are very similar, and it's because with the Golden Mirror here, narcissists like to play a matching game where like they're into the same things as you, but they somehow do it slightly better. But like they have the same morals, the same values, but then like the more you get to know them, you'll realize that wasn't true at all, but they're just reflecting yourself back to you. So you feel like they're a good person because you're a good person. And I feel like someone really needs to know that, that like if you keep meeting people who are just like you, but then you get to know them a little bit better and then they're nothing like you, it's because they're lying to you upon first glance or upon first meeting. And I feel like that's a game that narcissists like to play. But like the more aware you become of their tactics, the more you can sniff them out, and the more you can know like, oh, this is not someone who's actually worth my time. Okay. So let's get into the tarot here. Tell me more about the golden mirror. And if this is someone that you're connecting with for a long time, like, the love bombing can last for a couple months. They'll seem really great at first, but then like once that mask comes off, you won't be able to unsee it. But then like at the same time too, you have to remember that people are going to be on their best behavior when they first start dating you. And it's not until like a couple months in where they start showing you their true colors, and you might mistake their true colors for just like a bad day or like something else because they're so good at hiding it. But like really pay attention, and also pay attention to how they treat other people who they have an issue with, or like people who they can't get anything from, because that will really tell you a lot about a person, is how they treat those kinds of people when they can't get something from them or when they don't want something from them. Tell me more about the golden mirror. Tell me more about the golden mirror. And I really feel like you're a very loving and kind person. And I feel like they like how much you like them. Or like if you're the kind of person who is like, you give gifts to the people that you like because that's your love language, I feel like they just like how you make them feel because you're like in puppy dog energy right now. So the first card that came out was the Magician, but it came out in reverse. And I don't normally read this deck in reverse, but it really feels like emotional manipulation here, or like someone's really good with their words. And someone's really good at playing mind games here also. I feel like, and then we have the Hierophant here too. I feel like this is, it feels like a game that they know how to play, like they made the rules kind of thing, because the Hierophant can be rules and traditions, and I feel like you're starting to catch wind of the rules of the game that these people are playing with you. I feel like you're starting to understand the pattern, you're starting to recognize things, and I feel like you're growing, and I feel like you're growing out of this energy too, where you always attract narcissists. I feel like because you're recognizing that if someone's too good to be true, it's probably because that they are. And the Hierophant can also be higher learning, but I really feel like you're taking the time to learn patterns, to learn how these people communicate, and how, like, I feel like you're looking deeper into like the meaning behind the things that they say. The Magician is also someone who, like, it could be lies out of ego, but I feel like I feel like it's distorted. It feels a lot like someone's making themselves sound better than they actually are. And with the Hierophant, I feel like you're more grounded, and you're realizing that that's not the case, because you know the rules, you know how things work now. I feel like you're coming into that energy, and if you're not really sure how that works, it's time to start learning. It's time to start reading some articles, recognize the patterns, watch some YouTube videos about narcissists and dating, and you'll be surprised how much like that will resonate in your life, and you'll be surprised how much you didn't know. But now that you do know, these kinds of people, like, their biggest weakness is awareness of what that they're doing, because when you're aware, you're not in a place where you're gonna tolerate it, and then they lose all their power. And also too, if you're aware that someone is a narcissist, you can't really call them out on it directly, because that gives them the space to flip things around on you, and they'll really double down on that energy. But the best way to deal with a narcissist, or someone, especially a controlling one, or someone who has a lot of power over you, and someone in that situation, is to gray rock them. Like, the thing that narcissist wants most is supply, where you admire them, where you feed into their energy, their delusions. And like, your biggest the biggest thing you have to offer, especially as someone with an emotional depth, is that supply, and like withdrawing that from them will make them snap. It makes them crumble, because they do all of this to get attention and to get a reaction out of you. But once you take that reaction and that power away, there's nothing that they can do. Tell me about camera. Because I really feel like this is learning from the past here, because that's what part of the card says here. But I feel like you're connecting the dots. I feel like, especially if you have a pattern of this relationship occurring, you're connecting the dots between the people that you've dated. Like, if you date one person and then you realize that the next person you date does the same things or did similar things as the first person, or like, I feel like you're noticing a pattern in your dating here, and it is giving you more awareness and more insight. So with the camera, we have the 8 of Earth, which is the 8 of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the Page of Fire. I really feel like this is putting effort into your learning, and I feel like this is putting effort into growth as well, in terms of learning from the past, learning from the relationship, or learning from what other people have. I feel like maybe you've had like a family member or like a friend or someone close to you who has pointed out like, hey, this person was kind of like the last person, or like, hey, this person is not that great, or like that, you know, like they've pointed out something to you. And I feel like at the time you were like, well, I'll just see how it goes. But like, I feel like you need to listen to that person. I feel like this person's giving you a tidbit of information that's very insightful about your relationship. With the Emperor too, I also get, Emperor can be about control, but I feel like you're taking control of your learning. I feel like you're taking control of what you're putting effort towards and how you're moving forward in this. And I feel like you're moving forward in a new direction, instead of staying stuck in old patterns, which feels really good. And tell me about the cassette, which is, again, outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events. I really feel like you have had a parent or a sibling or someone in your life who had power over you, who had narcissistic tendencies. And to where like all these boundary stomping things that they do, like it felt normal to you because you were used to having your boundary stomped on, or you were used to giving into these demands, or used to being treated this way. And you're realizing now that it's not supposed to be like that. Like, love is not supposed to be painful. I mean, sometimes, like, you know, it hurts, but like, it's not supposed to be constantly pain. It's not supposed to be, you know, someone hurting you over and over again with no remorse. I mean, they may say that they're sorry, but then they just keep doing the same thing over and over again. So you know that if they were really sorry, they'd stop doing it, but they never did because they're never actually sorry. And I feel like you're starting to realize, like, maybe you can't take people at their word as much as you thought that you could. And like I feel like you're looking more into people's actions, and rather than like holding them accountable for their actions, rather than holding them accountable for their words. So what we have come out here is the 9 of Earth, which is a very independent energy. It's, according to my favorite reader, it's the pre-Empress card, which we also have the Emperor out here as well. So I feel like you're, in terms of leveling up, you're on your way. I feel like right now you're realizing maybe it's better to be single, or it's better to be focusing on other things other than love at this time, or that like you keep attracting the same partner over and over again, so you're taking a break from dating is kind of what I'm getting here, just so that way you can clear your energy. And I feel like you're no longer accepting these, like the narcissists in your life. You're no longer accepting someone who's fake, who's not worth your time, who's not worth your energy, and is not who they say that they are. Because I feel like you're just someone who's very authentic, and you want someone who is also authentic. And I feel like you've had a lot of disappointments too. This is the 5 of Cups, which is like, this is heartbreak, this is disappointment, this is things not working out like you thought they would. So I feel like you definitely have been disappointed in the past here. I feel like a love has left you heartbroken. I feel like you're kind of in a place now where you're like, am I ever going to meet someone worth my time? Am I ever going to meet somebody who worth my energy? Am I ever going to meet somebody who isn't going to be terrible to me and isn't going to hurt me? I feel like you need to level up yourself first, or like, I feel like you really need to work on your self-esteem, and kind of get elevate yourself to where you're not in an energy where the low vibrational people feel attractive to you. Like, I feel like this is like the need to grow in order to be at a new vibration, so where you can attract something more vibrationally in alignment with you rather than settling for low vibrational energies. But this could also just talk about pain from the past, and like the pain it took for you to get to a point to realize that you had to level up, or that you were better off focusing on yourself, and being in your power rather than having someone else join the equation. So what else needs to come out in regards to this situation? Because I feel like it's pretty straightforward. But also, like, the thing about narcissists, though, is that they're kind of addicting, in terms of, like, if you're someone who likes drama, I don't mean that in a bad way, because, like, sometimes, like, you're addicted to chaos in a way that, like, when your life, like, someone who is, like, I'm tripping over my words here, but, like, if your life has always been chaotic, or like you're used to people, like there's always something going on with someone's always upset with something, or like there's always a problem somewhere, and you're used to being a problem solver, someone who is relatively stable and peaceful is going to feel really boring compared to this energy. So I feel like it's time to take a break too, because I don't necessarily feel like you like drama, but like I feel like someone stable just might be like, you're gonna be like, I'm bored because like there's no problems, like whose problems am I gonna solve, or like that kind of energy. So we also have the King of Water that came out. I feel like this is the need to master your emotions or be more emotionally in control here, because I feel like with the King of Water, I kind of get this energy that you're easily emotionally swayed. Like if someone were to give you a sob story, or like I feel like people are like, you're easily emotionally manipulated. And people can do that using their words, which is why the Magician is here with the narcissist. And I feel like this is the need to kind of master your emotions and kind of keep them in check, keep them in alignment, to where you're not like, to where a story is not like a false narrative, or like someone's not able to pull on your heartstrings as much as they have been able to in the past. Like, I feel like this is the need to really stand strong within yourself and realize what is yours and what is someone else's. And are you being swayed by someone else's strong emotion? Or like, I feel like you maybe also tend to match your emotional energy to other people. Or like, if you're a really empathetic person, if someone's upset, it in turn makes you upset, or like you internalize them being upset and try to fix it so that way everyone's fine. Like I really get like a fixing energy here, but just know that you don't have to take that burden on. You're not emotionally responsible for other people. You don't have to fix them emotionally. Like I feel like this is the need to like acknowledge the other person's emotion as their emotion and not take it on yourself. Because I really get like a kind and caring energy out of you, and I feel like you're just someone who cares so deeply for other people, and like I get like a really big caretaker energy, and I don't think that's a bad thing at all, but I feel like people are exploiting you because you don't know how to set boundaries within yourself, or like I feel like you're too freely giving, and it's time to set that boundary that not everything needs your attention in that way. And then with the Knight of Fire here, this is a call to action. I really feel like I'm getting 7 of Wands energy with this as well, and I feel like this is the need to set boundaries, and I really feel like it's the need, but like what the Knight is an action, so I feel like this is the physical action of setting those boundaries, and like I feel like it's being kind of spicy with it too, because fire energy is a little passionate, if you will, but like I feel like you're being called to really set this boundary, and I feel like you're being really called to take that action, take that next step, in order to have this situation like resolved, to where I really feel like a blocking something out kind of energy here, where like I feel like maybe you're at like, you've kind of caught on to someone's patterns here, and you're kind of like at the edge of your rope with it, and but this is the time to take action and to really cut it out for good. I get really hard boundary setting with this, and I really feel like it's time for you to set that boundary with these people. And whether it might just not be one person you need to set a boundary with, it might be multiple people, and that's going to be hard. But you'll feel so much better because your energy is not constantly going out to other people. You're able to fill your own cup and like hold some of that back for yourself, and you'll feel so much lighter not having to emotionally take care of other people as well. in this situation. Okay. So let's pull some advice. I'm going to do the messages from your spirit guides for advice because I just like the deck, but I got some really good advice here. So what advice do you have for my Aries dealing with this energy? What advice do you have for Aries dealing with the narcissistic energy? What advice do you have for Aries dealing with the narcissistic energy? Okay, so first we have the camel. Trust that you have the resources to get through the challenges before you. And then we have 4. Okay. But I'll get to those here in a second. So I really feel like you might feel emotionally depleted, and like setting boundaries when you're already on empty is really hard. So I feel like you really need to take the time, like take some time out, go on a walk, or like do some self-care to really get your energy up. And then instead of using this energy to take care of other people, use it to preserve the rest of your energy so you can grow your reserves. And I also feel like it might be hard, especially if you have like a family member who's like really heavy on the boundary stomping. It takes a lot of energy to say no, but you'll feel so much better for saying no once you start saying no. And then we have keep your sense of humor and don't take things so seriously. So I really feel like this is a time for you to have fun. And you know, like I feel like you don't have to set these boundaries in like a like really like hard setting kind of way. You can probably tiptoe around it, but if they don't listen when you're being lighthearted about it, slowly get more serious, if that makes sense. Because like a no doesn't always have to be a firm no. It could be like no, not right now, no, not today, or like haha, no. But I also get like it's time to kind of like let go of some of this energy. It's time to really just I feel like this has really got you down or like really depleted you, and it's time to do more fun things to bring your energy back up. It's kind of what I get with this. And then we have the walrus, which says remain vigilant about the current situation, pay attention to signs and omens, and let them dictate your choices. So I really feel like with this, if you're meeting some people that are new, kind of pay attention to the things that they do, the things that they say, how they say them. And like, I feel like it's like energy of like sit back and watch and wait. And so that way you're able to kind of pinpoint this person for who that they really are. And like, I really get pay attention to like patterns that this person has, or like how they treat other people, especially other people that they're mad at. Because like, if you've ever seen a narcissist mad, they're always degrading. They're always putting this, like that person down at every single turn. And like, they somehow always bring up their energy in like in a way that's negative. If someone's being extremely negative and it's like sucking the life out of you, it's time to pay attention and just really pay attention to the things that people do, the things people say. And especially if it's a pattern within that person, because then you will be able to like piece together who that they really are. And then we have the unicorn. Indulge your creative, imaginative, and magical side through some form of artistic expression. So I really get with the Roadrunner here. This is about having fun. Like I feel like you're burnout, you're tired, you're done. And so like maybe like I had a dream about painting last night. So maybe painting is something that you really like to do, or like something that you've been called to do, or like maybe you get your physical or like you get like rested, or like you get your vitality through self-expression. So maybe it's like songwriting, or maybe it's poetry writing, or maybe it's journaling. But like, I feel like it's time for you to be creative. It's time for you to have fun instead of dealing with, like, it's time to take a break from this energy. And if it's a break from dating, it might be a break from dating, because I feel like you've been caught up in some bad patterns and it's time to reset your energy. And by getting your creative juices flowing, you're going to feel like revitalized. It's like, you know how like you have a plant that you kind of forgot to water, but like that plant is yourself, so it's all shriveled up. Like take a bath, girl. Like get some bath salts, a bath bomb, you know, like a sugar scrub, like pamper yourself here. And I feel like it's time to revitalize yourself and be a brand new you who's not constantly being depleted by the people around them. So that's all that I have for you today. If that resonated, please like and let me know. Well, thank you for watching.